Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel at VAG Technic Garage. So as you can see, we have a one ramp available, not for long. Miroslav is working on a 3-liter TDI diesel, which customer tried to repair the car himself and dropped something into the cylinder, and it ended up here for some funny reason. But mainly in this video, we will be working on the Audi RS4 B8.5, and the car is actually from Germany. So this is the beast. I have the key. Obviously, as you can probably tell, that the steering wheel is on the wrong side, and believe me or not, there's nothing wrong with the car. So the owner of the vehicle actually purchased the car because he wants to have a V8, but there is something what he don't like about it. And to show you, let me take the car out from where it is standing right now, put it over there, and I'll open up the car and show you what are the plans. We've been discussing with Miroslav just so far verbally if it's possible. We did find out that what he wants to do should be possible, but only time will tell. So we should have everything ready for it right over here now. But let's take the car and I'll show you what we're gonna do. The car have done 36,000 kilometers, which is absolutely nothing. And yeah, it's already broken. Okay guys, so Audi RS4. It's still a normal RS4. Nobody knows for how long, because owner of the vehicle, Frederick, hello Frederick, did watch a few other YouTube videos, and he did try to sort out his dream become true in Germany, but nobody really wants to help him. So the car ended up here. As you can tell, normal RS4 B8.5 with a 7-speed DSG automatic gearbox, and Frederick have a dream that he wants to have RS4 B8.5, but he don't want to have the DSG gearbox there anymore. And for that reason, in the in the boot, we do have a manual gearbox. So in these probably videos, we will be swapping a 7-speed DSG to a 6-speed manual gearbox. Frederick is from Germany, obviously, and we did have loads of conversation over emails, text messages, WhatsApp, phone calls. I believe the conversations were going on for maybe a month. I didn't understand what he wants to get done. We explained him our point of view, because we have like experience with gearboxes, like not too much, but at that time we did have a S4 B8 manual removed from an engine, from a vehicle, and we also did have a RS5 engine stripped down, which is the same engine as the RS4, and it should be a straight fit. However, we have to still put the pedal in there. Loads of things needs to be done. I was already digging the VCDS, and we can obviously change the coding from DSG to a manual, so that should be fine. And there will be loads of things like gear linkage, sort out the interior so it's manual as well, all the trims and stuff. So it will be interesting. It will be definitely interesting. This gearbox is basically from a S5 V8, which has a different final drive, which was important for Frederick. And he was mentioning that he wants to do some special ratios here and there, which everything is possible these days, but everything costs money. And a straight fit gearbox at this point will be probably a budget friendly to go ahead with the manual swap. I did see people with the S4s to do manual swaps for DSGs. It did work out. However, I didn't see anyone with the RS manual gearbox. Something interesting, hopefully, coming up. I'm really hoping we won't be struggling to finish it off. And the next step, the car's going into the workshop. We will put it on the ramp. I have to remove the engine, and we'll keep you updated. Okay guys, so the car's on the ramp, pretty much as best as we can put it on the ramp basically. And we have to take everything out, which means gearbox. This should be rear differential from an S5, and the only difference is that the prop shaft been screwed on here, and the RS4 prop shaft is basically just like a push-in. We also have a prop shaft which should fit over there, but because this is a Vant or estate, it's longer chassis, so probably we will have to get a prop shaft maybe from an S4 manual estate. I don't know. Miroslav saying it should fit, but we never done anything like it, and there's no manual to it as well, so we will have to improvise everything. But yeah, let's take it all out, put it on the floor, lift the car up, drop the engine down, and then we will be hopefully much smarter.
The fitment of that Should be same.
No idea.
The chassis.
No idea. We have to lift it and check.
Oh.
There was a song like that. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. And we're going from the pallet or with the pallet?
With the pallet.
With the pallet. Yeah. Philip, can you hold it so it doesn't slide?
If you can. Because I'm not sure, because I'm
Okay, let's go lift it. It's not that heavy, don't worry, it's a manual. Okay.
How is the pallet design?
We have to lift it again.
I see.
But probably... Let's just take the box audio, Davidko. Because it's a manual, you can do it yourself, see? See? Leave it in there. Good.
Sorted. You can take it back to Germany.
So this is the beast. And I was wrong. There's no clutch. No, nothing. Interesting. Okay. We are going up. Okay, so the car's on the ramp, and I think the first thing what we'll probably do is remove the prop shaft, which is probably easy enough to do. We have to measure the total length and see if that prop shaft what's here will fit onto the chassis, which I don't think so. The differential looks pretty much the same. Dave already checked the diameter of the caps for the dry shaft, that should be fine. And obviously when we're gonna have these small details checked, we will proceed with the engine removal. And I'm not very worried that the gearbox won't fit, because we know it will fit. What I'm worried about is the whole gear linkage and the gear lever inside. That'll be interesting. But yeah, we will check this first and then we will continue. Okay. Okay. Okay guys, so the engine is removed again. Another day, another engine, another RS4. As you can probably tell, it's quite lots of things to actually remove such an engine. The whole front end gotta be removed till, because of the wiring and everything was go to it, like a cooler and stuff. And the engine is out, which is good. So the next step will be take the exhaust off. Otherwise you can't take the box out, because that's how it's designed. I still have to speak with Frederick and ask him what he want to do with the tensioners. I told him like it's a good idea to get it done while the engine is removed, because it's accessible. Also, I'm not sure about the carbon cleaning, but I'm looking at the gearbox, I'm looking at the chassis, and the main question now is where we should put the hydraulic lines. We did have original piping and everything, but I think maybe that will be our hole over there from the top to bring the hydraulics somewhere over here, like it's on the gearbox over there. But that is a very far future. Anyway, so we have to strip it down, see, take it all off, and we go from there. 64.5. Okay. So let's take it off. Okay. Right.
164. Yeah? 164 tady. Jo.
Same.
160. No.
Yeah, same. Okay. So the prop shaft is off, as you can probably tell. The differential is still there, as you can probably tell. And right now we have a bit of a dilemma going around here, because the prop shaft was brought with a wooden plate, as you can tell. That's a original Audi genuine number. But you can tell from the center to the front, this one is longer, this one is shorter. That's from the original RS4 7-speed automatic. And unfortunately, the length in the front is relative because the gearbox is shorter, so that's fine. So we did find out from the front of the gearbox to the bearing is all the same, but from the bearing to the diff, that's the difference. So because this is from an S5, which is probably a shorter wheelbase, we will have to swap the prop shaft from here and swap them around. So we will see if that will be helpful. Obviously the ends are the same, so we will be able to screw that onto that differential, and let's hope for the best. Okay, so this is how the prop shaft was splitted. Unfortunately, we were not able to remove this part from the bearing and stuff. I was watching a few videos how everybody does it is they'll cut the bearing and they just put like a large amount rubber thing on there with a stronger support, but in this case we needed the other part of the prop shaft. So basically this is like a dust cover. So that was opened, as you can tell, and we just push it out like a dry shaft when you're changing a CV boot, and just swap the other side to it, which is all ready to go onto the car. So we're taking the exhaust manifold off. Reason for that is you can tell that the gearbox will never ever come off because of the exhaust. It's very tight setup. And I did spoke with Mr. Frederick, and we agreed to actually do the tensioners for the chains, for the cylinder heads. We're also gonna reseal the rocker cover gaskets because it is a mist of oil already coming off, and the intake gotta come off anyways to do the chains. So there'll be new gaskets in the intake, and we're also gonna do the intake valve cleaning. Meanwhile, Mr. Dave's gonna take the lambda sensor out, and we will check the state of the catalytic converters, because we don't want to put the engine back in and the catalytic converters are not in good condition. So we're gonna check those, and I'm really hoping they'll be all right. That's dead, bro. No good. I don't think they'll be good for long-term use. Don't think so. Okay, tam zo spodu už. Jaký je? Looking good. Yeah, you can pull, you can pull, you can pull. Okay, just to start the motor. So we have an update again. This bracket for the gearbox is not good. It's different manual to automatic to the chassis. So I have to call the TPS again to get the correct numbers. We have to order everything. We are still waiting for the plate, which is not here because it's not correct one. And what can we do meanwhile? Well, you can probably strip the engine, get it ready for the tensioners and intake and everything. So that will be the next step. So we've been gathering the stuff for a bit of a time. We are using LUK dual mass flywheel with LUK clutch kit, as you can see, and they will fit for S4, S5, 3 liter and 4.2 as well. We also have to change this plate, which is different to manual and automatic. You can probably see the difference now, and it wasn't expensive. We just get a second-hand one. We also agreed to do the upper timing chains, which means we just replace the tensioner actually with the slider, which is a common fault that they have a timing chain slab. Meanwhile, we'd also cleaned the injectors, put a new gasket, all the O-rings, everything was resealed and cleaned up. and of course it will make sense to clean up the inlet valve at the same time. So all these small jobs they were done while the engine was out. It makes sort of sense, and it will just improve any performance over the years because it doesn't have loads of mileage, but it's just the time. Also will replace the shaft seal on the gearbox. Okay, so the RS4 is still on the ramp, but it's coming off the ramp. Reason for that is we have to get to the interior to remove the gear selector for automatic gearbox and replace it with the manual linkage and everything. So to do that, ideally we want to put the car back on the wheel, so it'll be like a rolling shell, and we have to open up the doors. Ideally we will be probably removing the front seats, so there's better access to do whatever we need to do with the central console and stuff. And yeah, the engine is sorted. Still have to do the catalytic converters. The gearbox is not onto the engine yet because it's hard to manipulate with the heavy thing. And next up will be the wheels. Lower it down and we will continue with the interior stuff. Okay, so the car's on the ground, and as you can tell there's a bit of a limited space to work, especially for the pedal assembly. So we have to remove the brake pedal, which is quite wide for the automatic, for a narrower one for the manual. We also have to put the third pedal in there, which is quite hard, as you can tell. And I think the best way will be remove the seat. If not for the pedal assembly, at least for the central console, because the whole central console should fit as it is. We just have to replace the aluminium or the plastic chrome trim which is surrounding the gear lever for a manual one, which we have here, and the whole thing should fit with the linkage and stuff, but we can only do it to remove the whole central console, which is quite loads of work. So from that point it makes sense to remove the seats, which means you have to take everything out of the car, but there's no space, unfortunately. No. So yeah, definitely interesting situation. So there's no bolts here, no bolts there, no bolts anywhere. It's just the bolts from here, and I've got a bad feeling that this
will go somehow.
Like slide it backwards. You think?
I mean, maybe.
Like, or maybe lift it.
Let's see.
Phew, that'll be very interesting. I know this gear lever needs to be like pushed in somehow when the button is inside. There's like a special lock, and nobody knows. We are engine mechanics, we're not interior mechanics, so there might be some damage done.
You can only break things.
That's it. Ooh, okay. That wasn't that bad.
We should all look at it. Other side. Not there.
But I think we have to
Unlock it and move it this way. Baterka není zapojená. Battery.
No battery.
You have to plug in battery.
You don't have to plug in battery. You know, if we will.
I mean, if this one lever is here, you can slide it. Now it's locking it.
I know.
If you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, but ideally we want to take the whole thing out with the lever, and the rest of it will stay in. So we need to find something what will get inside there. But what? What so?
I don't know what was used last time.
Piece of paper maybe.
Piece of paper.
Really thin folded.
TPS.
So, what we've done, we didn't break anything. Of course we didn't. And this mechanism here, you just have to turn it. So it's turned like this. You can't press the button, otherwise it gets stuck, some smart people say. And it will just basically slide out from the gear lever which is there. We also disconnect the display which is on the side for PR and DS. And this looks like it's getting loose as well, loosey-goosey. So we can unplug all the cables, wiring from underneath, inside, outside, from the side. And we'll try to somehow, nobody knows how yet, remove it. And we have to get to the bottom of this whole mechanism.
Ale zároveň je to moc takhle přesně jsem si to představoval, ano.
B8.5.
Yeah. Two here and two there.
Good.
This is same fixing like that.
I have no idea. So we are discovering the inside of the vehicle, all the cables and wiring for the MMI and for the gear lever and stuff. And right now I'm just thinking out loud that there's quite loads of things actually was going into the gear lever which I was suspecting there won't be. But for example, this is only a 4-pin connector. This is probably a power supply for the cigarette lighter. And how many we've got here? Which one is this?
This one is
from
that one from that side connector.
Okay.
It goes here. It goes here.
And there are another 3. So I think this will be mostly signal from the brake, so it knows for the solenoid when the brake is applied, so it will actually let you to select the gears, because there's not many, you know. And all this is just for the LEDs what we removed on the side of the panel. So, but yeah, I don't know, we never done it, so maybe it will be fine, maybe not. Maybe we will do the whole thing and the car will not start, you know. Life is difficult. So let's continue. Okay, so this is the gear linkage what we have from eBay. Obviously, as you can tell, it's a bit used condition, but the main thing is this, what we need. And Dave is saying that all these attachment points are the same, which I believe they are. The linkage to the gearbox is the same, which I believe it is. And there's no connectors coming to it, so it's connector free. So the plan now is we will unscrew the linkage which is in there, or the cable with the lever, and we have to fit this one in. Oi, oi, oi. Easy, easy. See you later. It's not DSG anymore. The DSG has disappeared in the darkness. Okay, linkage. I'm going in. You gonna screw it in? Woo. Mr. Linkage, here I come. I don't know how far I have to go. Okay? Oh, Madonna. Okay. I'm still holding it. What's next? Oh, big one. Hold on. Stop. Do we have to...
This one will just go in.
This trim.
That will just go in.
Okay. So we didn't need it then.
No.
Okay. This is going in there. This is going in here. Kto? Cvak? You need to go lova.
And there. Little bit. Exactly. There. And this one. That goes just here. Yeah. Yes.
Gotovo. We need to go. Yep. Super, nie? Okay, guys. So this is the footwell where are the 3 pedals. Well, actually only 2 of them. However, the good thing is that the whole carrier, which is in there, has already space for a clutch pedal, which is very smart. And there is also entrance for the master cylinder for the clutch. So that's very good as well. The questionable thing is to remove this pedal. So we need another one because the other one will not fit. This dodgy plastic needs to be unclipped from the master cylinder for the brake, and we have to replace the whole pedal, which will be very interesting. To do that, we have to strip probably the whole interior from here, which will be not interesting, but we need to do it. And also, I don't know yet how we're going to sort out the wiring which is unplugged, because obviously I changed the ECU coding, so it's manual now, but I don't know how the car will behave. Also, it's missing a sensor for the clutch, because otherwise you have to hold the brake. So the sensor from the brake needs to go on the clutch so the car will actually start. You have to depress the clutch or brake, we'll have to figure it out. And not talking about the reverse switch, not talking about the other stuff. So yeah, it will be still interesting. It will be interesting. So one thing will be make it up mechanically as a manual RS4, and the other thing will be if it's actually gonna behave like a manual. It should, but you never know. So the engine is in somehow. It was like a normal engine installation really, and when it comes to some kind of upgrades or something what needs doing and changing, you've seen that Dave was messing about with the exhaust as it was, especially for the gear linkage, and that plastic what you've seen with the heat shield what was installed was too close to the exhaust, so we decided to turn the exhaust after cut a bit clockwise. So that means it will be more space between that plastic and the exhaust. However, what happened, because we changed the angle, it affected the bottom of the exhaust that was quite close to the chassis. So they've removed the other side of the exhaust, cut it a bit, and obviously push it off the chassis. So that helped a lot. Otherwise, it was normal engine installation really, so nothing special. The piping and everything is in place, and we also have the pedal assembly here from Europe, because that's different to the UK side, and it comes with the pedals. So the plan is we will be not changing it all, but we need to put this rubber seal onto the chassis, which goes like this and then onto the chassis. So to do that, otherwise there will be rain coming into the car, we have to move the whole assembly a bit, put that there and put it all back in. Also, the other, not a problem, but interesting thing is that I believe this is a brake switch, probably. But it's not returning, so I'm not sure what's happening. But I don't know if this brake switch is the same like the one on the automatic. That's the first problem. And also right now the car will only start when you press the brake pedal, which we want to do on the clutch pedal. So whatever wiring is going there should go into there. Also, I think, Mr. Dave, the reason why there is so many wires, you know, the car have like automatic RPM rise when the clutch pedal is in certain point. So I think that's why we have so many wires sticking out. But we're probably gonna need like 2 of them.
It won't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it will not do it because we can't implement it. But we also run into a problem with the reverse switch, because if you remember, we rip off everything over there. And all the wiring which goes into the gear lever for the automatic gearbox have a signal when the gear lever was in reverse to give the signal into the tailgate to switch on the light, which is, I believe, by CAN bus, which we can't do because we can't do it. So the plan is the original reverse switch is on the gearbox. We left the wiring extended so we can work with it, and we have to do a wiring through a whole car into the tailgate and make it work the old-fashioned way. It will be open in circuit or something, I don't know it. Either way, there is limited space to work, and there's quite loads of things what Dave still have to do. And I know what he was talking about now, because the bracket goes over the steering column, which is great news, ironically. So it won't be that easy to put actually that rubber where it belongs to. Aye. And yeah, I think he will have to strip all this down and all that down to have a look what's behind it, because we have to get to this pedal, which needs to be replaced for the narrower one, which will be absolutely pain to do. But mainly we have to figure out how we're gonna put that gasket over there, because if we will not sort it, I think the car will be flooded with rain, which will get from the windscreen to down there, which rainwater shouldn't be in the car. Speaking of rainwater, there's a bit of a rain going in there, but that will be one time next time to sort it out. But yeah, still things to do, so I'll leave it today for now. I'll keep you updated. What will be the update, if there will be any update. And at the moment, the main thing is to make the car move forward and backwards. We still don't know how the car will react to the situation that the gear lever from automatic is fully disconnected, and what will the cluster say, and so that will be a big mystery, but let's continue.
Cože? Co se stalo?
Okay guys, so the oil is in there, coolant is in there, and we are ready to start up the engine the first time. I have no idea if it's actually gonna start, because I'm thinking now that if there's actually no selector, which is telling the car it's in park, neutral, drive or whatever, if it's actually gonna start. It should start, but it's a big question if. So I think we'll just give it a go, because that's the only option how we can find out. And let's hope everybody that it will start and it will become a manual RS4. Full park bremse. Hold on. Adaptive light defect. Oi. Tire pressure monitoring system, everybody. Some bulb. Okay, ready? Put it in park or neutral. Put it in park or neutral. That's what it says. I mean, we can start it, but the guy can't be starting it from the bonnet. Okay. You can try, but I'm not sure if the ignition is actually on, like on. Philip knows. Okay. Battery. Low. Okay. Yo. We need to put it on the battery. Yep. Try one more time. Okay. Wheels are spinning. Okay guys, so we are out of the workshop for the first time. The gear lever needs a tiny bit of adjustment. I think it needs to be more in the middle here because the gears like first, third and fifth are not really going in nicely, but that's like small details. We have an airbag light on because the seats were removed. We have a parking brake fault because there's no gearbox. But mainly the car did manage to go out from the workshop on its own, which is good. So we will just try to go down the road, roll it down the road, see how it goes, and we will see what will happen. So second gear, we're moving. Nothing is beeping so far, which is really good. I don't see no PRNDS whatever, so the gearbox is like disconnected, which it is. But let's try. So this was full throttle. So maximum power at the moment is like 30 bhp on a V8, which is like a proper American car, but we have a small engine compared to Americans. So the problem what we're actually getting right now is that the whole system, how it should be working, it depends on the gearbox, because right now it thinks it's in park or neutral, so we can rev the engine, but obviously there's no fueling going on to have some power from the engine, which will be very interesting to do, because we need to find someone who can actually map the car in this condition, so when everything is disconnected there will be a map which is a drivable map, not as a neutral revving map, because right now I think the fueling will be very lean and we have absolutely no power. That means the camshaft adjusters are probably not operating, all the system is just like in neutral. Also the fans are blowing full speed ahead because the gearbox temperature is unknown, because there's no gearbox and there's no information to tell those fans that don't come on. Other than that, I think it will be drivable. However, we need to find someone in this beautiful world to help us to actually map the engine somehow, which will be interesting. I have few people on my mind. We have to get in touch with them, see what they say, and we just have to go from there. But I think we're just going to turn around here because there's no point driving it if we can't actually drive it, which is a bit disappointing, but that's how it is. The main thing is we did manage to make it a manual, which is good, but it doesn't want to. Oh, there's a reverse. You have to find it like on the old lorries, move it here and there, and yeah, so that will be definitely interesting. So this was the easy part, to make it a manual, and now I think this will be the hardest part, to actually make it physically work and move, because we've been looking online, we have diagrams, we have like quite loads of things what we need for it, but the whole thing is that the ECU which is in this car is only with the DSG. There was never an option with a manual gearbox. So I was reading on the forums that it is possible to get it done, however we need to find the right people to get it done. So I don't know what will be the outcome yet. The car's moving forward and backwards sometimes when you find the reverse, but we still need to finish off these faults which are coming on, and especially what's the point having a manual V8 RS4 when you don't have a 450 bhp. So that will be the upcoming thing, what we don't know it. Okay guys, so we are back in the workshop with the RS4 B8.5 manual. And as you can probably tell from the test drive, a bit disappointed, because before we actually start working on the vehicle, like I mentioned, we have loads of conversations. I was talking to loads of people. We've seen loads of videos. By loads of videos, I mean only one video, which was done in America for an S4. And when we were discussing if it's possible to do it, we had like manual and DSG S4 here, and we compare all the gearbox attachment points and so on and so on and so on, and everything was like straight fit. So let's say the easy job is done now. It is a manual which is moving forward and backwards. It's capable to even stop, and the engine is actually running, it fire up and everything. We've done as much as we can with the coding with VCDS, so whatever we done with coding help us to actually like lock the car afterwards, because we even been in a point when the car didn't recognize if it's in park or neutral, and we were not able to remove the key from the ignition. So that was sorted, and there are minimum lights on the cluster. So the coding with VCDS helped to a certain point, and now we are getting to the most difficult part of the work, which is make the engine run, which was built with the DSG without the DSG. So I spoke with a company in Slovakia called Profit Tuning, and we were quite happy with them in the past because we were working on a S4 B9 in Slovakia. We've done a forge engine with different rods, and obviously the car didn't run well after we put different length of rods, and it needs like a software tune to make it run. So we took it to this company, and they basically sorted out in a couple of hours. I was actually very surprised because they only managed to do the software in a couple of hours based on the information what I provide them. So I spoke with the guys from there. They were a bit speechless on the beginning because they were thinking like, why would somebody do something like that? But it is done, as you can tell, a dream come true. And they told me maybe it's doable, maybe we will see. I also contact Mallory Performance, spoke to Phil. He told me maybe we will see. Obviously, I understand it's not a normal procedure to do something what's built with the DSG all of a sudden to remove it, because the engine is working based on the DSG information what is provided from the gearbox, which is not in the car anymore. So it's quite difficult to understand how the ECU worked. When it comes to the transformation of the gearbox, we thought it will need only few wiring and pins going inside the ECU. And we finally have the wiring diagrams to all the ECUs from Audis. And now I can confirm S4 manual and DSG is definitely 100% possible to do with few extra wires going from the clutch pedal to the body control module, to the engine ECU and to the parking brake. However, the pin in this ECU is not available, it's not an option, because they never made a car with the manual. So I'm not sure if that ECU will understandably work without the DSG. We've never done it, I don't know. So I'm really hoping mainly these two people from Profit Tuning in Slovakia and Phil from Mallory Performance will be able to help us. And the car is actually going to Mallory meanwhile, because I understand the car needs to be there to be done. And we will see what will be the outcome. I'm really hoping we will not have to transform the car from a manual to a DSG, because it will be impossible to do it. And if it comes to that point, obviously we will put it back, because what's the point having a V8 when you can't put your foot down and it's acting like a 1.2 manual Polo? So we will see how it goes. Also, I would like to ask you if you know someone globally who's capable to do something with the software, ideally, to make it work without the DSG, because similar platform like S5, V8, B8 pre-facelift is with the manual, and it doesn't require any information from the gearbox to run the engine. Of course, that's a different ECU, and it's a bit different engine, let's be honest, and a few different things. And we just can't take the software from a different car and put it into a different car with different ECU. It's just not how it works. We will see. Miroslav have a guy in Poland as well, which is helping us with softwares and stuff. He was asking him, and he told us like the best, quickest and cheapest option is a standalone ECU, which we don't really want to do, and the owner don't want to go standalone. So we will see. There's lots of different information what we were getting. Mainly, we finished the manual swap. It is working. Like I said, that was probably the easiest part. And right now we're getting to the difficult part where our knowledge is completely dead. As you can tell, we are only mechanics changing parts for parts. We don't do too many software things, only the simple ones. And yeah, this is a higher level thing. So we will see how it goes. Definitely, if you know someone, or if you're watching the video and you are that kind of a person who might help us, I'll be very grateful if you can help us. And at this particular moment, we're just going to finish it off. It's probably going to the Mallory so far, because that's the closest, and they're the bravest so far. So I'm really hoping we will move on, and I'm really hoping we don't have to put it back to the DSG. And we'll see how it goes. We'll keep you informed with this crazy swap idea. So something interesting, probably not what we used to do in the videos, but it was definitely fun. Dave was working on the car most of the time. We did do the crucial decisions together as a team again. So I think mechanically it's sound, and we'll see how we get on with it. Meanwhile, thank you for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video, maybe with the RS4, maybe with something else like a B9, TDI or V10. You never know. And thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video, guys, and take care for now. Bye.